All right, so this is a dilemma, right? A dilemma that kind of contradicts the whole purpose of trading, the whole purpose of me wanting to trade, right? The reason I got into trading, the reason I love it so much is essentially because of the freedom it allows. I touched on it a little bit on on my video trading saved my life, but the freedoms that it allows, the things it allows me to do. You can be literally anywhere. Just have to have internet. Just have to have Wi-Fi. Just have to have some sort of connection. You can do it from literally anywhere. Be on the beach, make some money, do your thing. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, you're good to go. No boss, no one watching over you. All that good stuff. The freedoms, right, of trading. The things that it allows you to do. So that's the good. But something that this is a paradox almost because in order to have that freedom, in order to gain those freedoms when you're trading, you must have a rigid structure. You must have a rigid game plan before going into any trade. So, yes, there's so much, it's so ambiguous on what you can do, right? Everyone has their own way they trade. Some day trade, some swing trade, some people just invest. There's so many methods on how to actually do it. So I'm essentially a scalper, right? So I'm in and I'm out a couple minutes. So that's my type of style. But the reason I just bring that up on the paradox of trading, the paradox of, or the contradictions of what trading involves, if people want that freedom. People want the freedom of being anywhere in the world. People want the freedom of not having a boss telling them when they could take a shit, when they can use the bathroom, when clocking their every single move. People want that. People want that freedom of just, all right, I could do this because I want to do it. I could place this trade right now. I could buy these calls right now, sell these puts. I can do this right now because I want to. Because I'm my own boss. I'm my own person. I can do. It's my capital. It's my money. I can do what I want with it. We all want that, right? You get that when you're trading, but in order to have those luxuries that I just mentioned, the freedoms, you have to have a rigid, structured game plan. You have to have a rigid, structured, just regimen. So it's the paradox of wanting that freedom that trading allows, and there's so many ways that you can trade, as I mentioned previously. But in order to get those luxuries, you must have a strict plan. What do I mean by that? Knowing when you're entering, knowing when you're exiting. Don't place a trade. Don't buy 100 shares of this and have no clue on when you're exiting. That's just the dumbest thing you can do. Going into a trade beforehand, in my mind, I already know how much I can win or how much I can gain. I don't like saying win or loss, but how much I can gain. I mean, I got to use the word loss, but how much I can gain or how much I can lose on a particular position. I already know in my head because I have a, all right, this is my stop loss down here. This is where I'm going to take my money up here. Like a rough estimate. It's not going to be exact. It's not going to be to the penny, but a rough estimate going into it on where you're entering, where you're exiting, whether it's going in your favor or whether it's not. You have to have to the T a regimen on what you're doing on any particular play, any particular move, any particular trade. Depending on your style, it doesn't matter. Your style is different. Everyone's style is different. But at the end of the day, no matter if you're trading forex, you're trading stocks, options, any sort of derivative, doesn't matter. You need to have a plan. You need to have an exit entry. That's me. That's just me. I don't know. Maybe you do it differently. You're doing well that way. Then don't listen to what I'm saying. But for me, what's been working for me, what's been helping my account grow, is knowing beforehand I'm entering at this price point. I'm going to be adding more shares at this price point. I'm going to be reducing shares at this price point, and I'm be exiting at this. So whether it's going in my favor or it's not, I have a plan. I have a move. It's like when there's a fire drill or when there's a fire, right? You go through all those fire drills. If the fire is happening over here, you're gonna exit that way. If it's happening over here, you go this route. Like I have a game plan for every move that's happening. There's not too many moves that really happen in trading. It's either going in your direction, going in your favor, or not going in your favor, or just consolidating. Those are three essential things that could pretty much happen. Other than that, there's no other things that could really happen. So you got to know. And for me, I harp on this. I harp on more so my downside risk. Like, anyone can make the money part. Anyone could watch their account grow. What messed me up a lot when I first got started into this is not exiting and just holding on for a little bit longer because I think it's gonna reverse. I think the pattern's gonna reverse, and I keep holding. I keep having this hope factor, like, all right, maybe a little bit longer, and then that hope never comes into fruition. And then my loss is 10 times what I said I wanted to be going into the play, going into this particular trade. So to get the freedoms that I mentioned, to be chilling on the beach, to be going anywhere you want to go, to be have the freedom to make your own money, have the freedom of, for me, the biggest freedom is not if someone telling me now, or the freedom for me, I should say, is not having someone just always telling me what to do every single second of like, I can't have that. So that's what allows me, that's why the main purpose of what brought me into the trading stock market, into the just the finance game. And I love it. I love it for that reason. But in order to have those freedoms that I'm touching on, you need to have a structured and rigid plan. And I'll leave you with this. There's a book. This is called Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. I listened to the audiobook. I didn't really read it. I read it for like a little bit, but I do a lot of driving, so I was like, all right, let me just get the audiobook instead because I can kill two birds with one stone. Probably the greatest book I've ever read or listened to. And this is the only book I've ever read regarding trading. And they touch on this point that I made earlier today. And it's to have the freedoms, to have that luxury, to have that life that you essentially want to have. You have to have a set and rigid structure. It's the paradox of trading. Because anyone can trade any type of way. But if you have no game plan, if you have no structure on what you're doing, then at the end of the day, you're just going to lose your bread. And that's why, whatever, 90% lose their money. So check it out if you haven't checked it out already, but I highly recommend. And it's the psychology. It's not like particular, like, it's not like different charts and different patterns and you're analyzing charts all day. It's the psychology. I believe trading is like 95% psychology. The remaining 5% is knowing what you're looking at. You could be the best analyst, but that doesn't make you a good trader. Those are two different things. But the book touches on it, so I highly recommend checking it out and stay tuned. I'll keep you guys updated in the journey.